This is the HAN Network, the leader in local news, sports, arts, and entertainment in southwestern Connecticut.
This is your coffee break on the HAN Network.
It's Monday, September 28th, and this is your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Chaplinsky, bringing you this morning's headlines in southwestern Connecticut, including a homicide investigation in Shelton and a water main break that closed down a local mall over the weekend and is delaying the opening today. We'll also bring on Rob Adams to talk high school sports and have Donald Eng's look back on this day in history. But first, on to today's headlines. Shelton police are investigating a homicide on Hickory Lane. On Sunday morning around 9:30 a.m., police were called to 7 Hickory Lane for a sudden death. Upon arrival, officers found a dead 52-year-old woman in the home. Police said it appeared suspicious, and investigation revealed it was a homicide. The Shelton Police Department is now investigating with the Connecticut State Police Major Crime Division. For updates on that story, check back to sheltonherald.com. Bridgeport police are investigating a shooting-related homicide after a man was found dead Sunday morning, September 27th. Around 8:20 Sunday morning, firefighters and medical personnel responded to a call about an unresponsive person near the corner of Charles and Main Streets. Responders found one black male identified as Dehaney Watson dead from a gunshot wound. Police officers and detectives were dispatched to the location and secured the crime scene. Detectives are actively investigating, and anyone with information regarding this incident is asked to contact the Bridgeport Police Department at 203-581-5201. Well, the Westfield Trumbull Shopping Center had to evacuate Sunday afternoon after a water main break, which closed the mall. Management said this morning that the mall will be back open today, Monday at noon. In other news, Connecticut's Department of Energy and Environmental Protection has announced the opening days of the upcoming fall firearms hunting seasons. Peak hunting during the season occurs in the early morning and late afternoon, primarily during the period from mid-October through mid-December. The fall firearms turkey season opens statewide on Saturday, October 3rd, and continues through the 31st of October. Regular waterfowl season opens statewide on Wednesday, October 7th, in both the north and south hunting zones. Small game hunting season opens at 7 a.m. on Saturday, October 17th for pheasant, quail, ruffed grouse, chukar partridge, and cottontail rabbit. Statewide firearms deer hunting season begins Wednesday, November 18th, and 2 junior hunting training days are scheduled for waterfowl. The first day will be on Saturday, October 3rd, and the second is planned for Saturday, October 31st. And moving on, police say that a family of 11 people is safe after their boat began taking on water in the Long Island Sound off of Norwalk. Rescue crews from the Norwalk Police and Fire Department helped rescue the family from the sinking boat on Saturday night. The boat began taking on water near Shea Island, located about a mile from the shoreline. The entire family evacuated the boat safely and was taken to Shea Island. No one was injured, though 2 children were evaluated for exposure. Officials say the group was camping and had returned to their boat to head back to shore when it sustained a mechanical issue. Well, because there has not been any significant rainfall recently, and with the Connecticut Department of Public Health's advisory for voluntary water conservation, the Aquarian Water Company is asking its customers to voluntarily conserve water and stop non-essential outdoor water use. Connecticut is experiencing conditions that go from abnormally dry to moderate drought due to an extended dry spell, according to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. According to Aquarian officials, due to current conditions, we're advising customers to voluntarily reduce their use. It is important for all our customers to assist in this effort to ensure everyone in our entire at-large community has the water they need when they need it. Aquarian recommends how to use water more efficiently while helping conservation efforts. That can include consider shutting off irrigation systems for the season or reduce irrigation to twice a week. With cooler temperatures, lawns and shrubs require about an inch or less of water per week. You can also allow your grass to grow a bit longer. Taller grass is healthier and requires less water. Use brooms or blowers instead of water to clean decks, driveways, and sidewalks. And don't wash cars or boats with a hose. You can also shut off ornamental water displays and do not leave water running while washing hands, shaving, or brushing teeth. Of course, taking shorter showers, hand wash dishes in a basin rather than under running water, and repair leaks in plumbing and fixtures. For more tips on that, you can visit aquarianwater.com/conserve for more water conservation tips. Well, the first-degree murder trial of a man accused of shooting a Ridgefield resident, Brian Schiaviotti, to death in the summer of 2012 has started with jury selection in a New Jersey courthouse. According to Catherine Carter, spokesman for the Essex County Prosecutor's Office, we're picking a jury now, and she said that on Tuesday, September 22nd. She said jury selection started before Judge Carolyn Wright in Essex County Superior Court. Schiaviotti, a 2009 Ridgefield High graduate and student at Villanova University in Pennsylvania, was shot and killed in Montclair, New Jersey on July 22, 2012. Ernest Williams Jr. of Montclair faces charges for the murder, weapons offenses, and robbery in that case. A second New Jersey man who was charged in the incident, James Pitts, entered a guilty plea to 2 drug charges: conspiracy to distribute a controlled dangerous substance and distributing a controlled dangerous substance, according to Carter, the prosecutor's spokesman. In the summer of 2012, when the shooting took place, Pitts was a fellow student at Villanova, where Schiaviotti was set to begin his senior year. If found guilty, Williams faces decades in prison. According to the spokesman, if you're convicted of murder, you can face 30 years to life. If you're convicted of murder, the minimum sentence is 30 years, she said. The trial at Essex County Superior Court in Newark, New Jersey is open to the public, and proceedings usually run from 9 a.m. to about 4 or 4:30. The start of that trial has been repeatedly delayed, according to the Ridgefield Press. Well, Darien police responded to the YMCA parking lot just before 6 p.m. on September 17th after receiving a report of a car burglary. There, they met a 39-year-old Darien resident who told them that her backpack had been taken from her car. The vehicle, however, showed no signs of forced entry, but the driver said that she had locked it before going inside the YMCA. Inside the backpack was an envelope containing $42 in cash and some identifying information. Surveillance footage of the lot showed a suspect taking the bag from the driver's door, but again, there were no signs of entry. Police are investigating any potential links between this burglary and others in town. Well, it's about time to throw it over to Rob Adams. Rob, we were talking a little bit about water conservation, but I hear that this week that may not be such an issue anymore.
Not an issue for sure, Kate, and good morning to you and good morning, everyone. We've got a partly sunny day to start the week with a high near 80, a light and variable wind that'll be south from 5 to 9 miles per hour in the afternoon. Seems like it's going to be a nice day to be, down around Wilton. We'll get to that in a little bit. Slight chance of showers tonight after 1 a.m., though. Mostly cloudy, a low around 66. To Tuesday, chance of showers mainly after 7 a.m. Now it's cloudy with a high near 80, but the chance of precipitation right now, only 30%. However, you do have a light east wind that'll become south from 5 to 9 miles per hour in the morning. Tuesday night, showers likely, possibly a thunderstorm, cloudy, low around 66. South wind will stay around 5 to 7. We're going to get a lot more rain Tuesday night with a new rainfall amount between a half and 3/4 of an inch possible, 70% chance of rain. We move to Wednesday, showers likely and possibly a thunderstorm. It's cloudy with temperatures falling to around 65 by 3 in the afternoon. Wind is going to be a little heavier from the northeast from 8 to 17, and again, upwards of an inch possible of rain. Wednesday night, chance of showers, cloudy, a low around 52, mostly cloudy, and 63 for Thursday. 66 in Darien, Ridgefield has 65, and Shelton has 69 degrees, Kate.
All right. Thanks, Rob. Well, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we have Donald Eng's Look Back on This Day in History, and we'll be talking high school sports with Rob. And we have a lot more news, of course, coming up on your coffee break after this.
When you experience a sports injury, you want to get better and fast. Coastal Ortho Express gives you direct access to orthopedic care quickly. Their physicians are fellowship trained in sports medicine at world-class universities and are also team doctors for area football teams. For specialized personal care of sports injuries, go to Coastal Ortho Express. Open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building, 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or coastalorthoexpress.com. Coastal Orthopedics, keeping you on the move.
Alliance. We are an industry leader in coordinating transportation for large events such as corporate road shows, conferences, and special events. Our team of experts understands the dynamics and logistics of high-pressure situations and complex arrangements, all within a rapidly changing environment. Since 1999, we have added charter jets, event management, and personal protection to our range of services. Mention this ad for $25 off your next round-trip reservation. Alliance and you. Together, we can achieve the extraordinary. 855-546-6996 or alliancelimo.com.
While the temperatures are cooling down, the fall bite is heating up. Albies, bonita, blackfish, alligator blues, and stripers are following the large schools of bait that are abundant in the Long Island Sound. If you love the New England coast during autumn, this is the time to be on the water. The latest from Shimano, Quantum, Avet, Hoagie, Phase 2 and more are in stock and ready to go at the dock shop. And don't mind those fall breezes with jackets, hats, gloves, and fleece from Grundens and Stormer. The dock shop will keep you warm and dry. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The dock shop, now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
It's time to come back to hometown banking, where people are taken into account, not just balances, where community comes first, a place where there's more than one kind of interest, where automation will never replace consideration, where they not only know your name, they know your dog's name too. It's time to expect more. It's time to bank well. Bank smart. Bank local. Bank well.
And we're back with this Monday edition of Your Coffee Break. I'm Kate Chaplinsky, and of course, it is now time to throw it to Donald Ng's Look Back on This Day in History.
It was the day the Cold War took to the ice, but first we go back to 935. Duke Wenceslas I, murdered by his brother Boleslas I of Bohemia. His martyrdom and the popularity of his biography gave rise to a reputation for heroic goodness, resulting in his being elevated to sainthood and posthumously declared king. He is the patron saint of the Czech state and the subject of Good King Wenceslas, a St. Stephen's Day carol written 900 years after his death that remains popular to this day. 1779, a bit of Connecticut history. Samuel Huntington, elected president of the Continental Congress. One of the lesser-known founding fathers, Huntington was known for his thoughtful nature and steady, hard work. A Declaration of Independence signer, after the Revolution, he would become Chief Justice of the Connecticut Supreme Court and then Governor of Connecticut. The town of Huntington, Connecticut was named for him, but town officials took his name off the town in 1919 when the city became the city of Shelton, named after Edward Shelton. He owned a mill in town. 1972. At the height of the Cold War, there was this.
Canadian team went into a huddle there, which seemed to be a little unusual. 1:02 left in the game. Stapleton, he cleared to the open wing to Cornwallier. Cornwallier took a shot, the defenseman fell over. The Cornwallier has it on that wing. Here's a shot! Henderson made a wild stab towards Bell. Here's another shot, right by the score! Henderson has scored for Canada! Henderson right in front of the net! And the fans of the team are going wild! Henderson right in front of the goal to go! With 34 seconds left in the game!
That was Paul Henderson scoring the goal of the century with 34 seconds left in Game 8 of the so-called Summit Series, giving Team Canada a 4-3 win over the Soviet Union. There was one tie. It was the first competition between the Soviet national team and a Canadian team represented by professional players. The Soviets had become the dominant team in international competition, which did not allow the use of professional players from Canada. Canada had a long history of dominance prior to the Soviet rise. That is your look back in history for September 28th, and I am Donald Ng.
All right, and now it's time to throw it over back to Rob for a look at high school sports. Rob?
Thank you, Kate. Good morning once again, everyone. That Summit Series in 72, a really, really big deal. The Paul Henderson and that goal called by Foster Hewitt for play-by-play guys such as myself, that is the godfather of hockey play-by-play. He shoots and scores came from Foster Hewitt. Now we move on to sports from over the weekend. We start with some high school sports, of course, and around the FCAC we go. Really, it's all just football that we'll look at on this Monday. You've got Ridgefield over Fairfield Ludlow 44-7. Trinity Catholic by 2 over Norwalk. Very controversial game. Hopefully we'll spend a few minutes on today on Nutmeg Sports. 22-20 the final score. Trumbull beat West Hill 54-21. Move over to St. Joe's, shutting down McMahon 20-0. Stanford over Fairfield Ward 24-16. Staples, who we will see this Friday night, they knocked off Wilton 37-0. A few quickies from the SCC. Daniel Hand over Wilbur Cross 42-16. West Haven 46, Cheshire 14. Xavier by 21 over Hamden 28-7. 4-50, Sheehan 13. East Haven 17, Jonathan Law 6. North Haven doubles up Notre Dame of West Haven 42-21. Shelton over Guilford 56-7. Massac over Barlow 39-14. Moving down now to the Saturday games. New Canaan over Bridgeport Central 53-8. And from the SWC, Stratford 21, Notre Dame of Fairfield 19, and saving one more for last, we had it for you here on the HAN network. Darien beat Greenwich 51-28. Wait. Yes, Shelby Grant just scored his 7th touchdown. No, Shelby Grant had 6 touchdowns on Saturday in just a really terrific performance by the Blue Wave. Cardinals hung around at times, but they got too little, too late. We move on to the Monday schedule now, and it's a busy one as always. In boys soccer, Stanford at Danbury, Staples is at West Hill, McMahon at Trinity Catholic. You've got Ward hosting Darien. Trumbull is at Greenwich. Ludlow is at Central. Ridgefield at Wilton. New Canaan at Norwalk. Girls volleyball has Central at Danbury, Norwalk at Stanford, New Canaan at Darien, Greenwich home for Wilton, Ward at Trumbull, West Hill at McMahon, Staples at Ridgefield, St. Joe's at Ludlow. Girls swimming and diving, Darien at Staples, Norwalk McMahon is at Wilton with diving only at New Canaan High School. And we move back to field hockey for Danbury at New Canaan, Greenwich at Ridgefield, Stanford at West Hill, Ludlow at McMahon, and Staples and Wilton. And all that coming up later today on the HAN network. Looking forward to it. We'll have it for you in Wilton. We'll be on the air just before 4 o'clock. Mike Suppy and I on the call. But for now, with sports, I'm Rob Adams. Kate?
All right, thanks, Rob. Well, getting back to some of today's headlines, this past Wednesday was New Canaan resident Brian Williams returned to the air after his infamous 6-month suspension for exaggerating war coverage. The former NBC nightly news anchor is now working at MSNBC covering breaking news. His first day coincided with the arrival of Pope Francis in his first visit to the United States, which of course was a huge story. MSNBC's ratings jumped considerably. The network claimed 518,000 total viewers and 93,000 viewers in the coveted 25 to 54 age demographic. Wednesday's coverage with the Pope was up 15% in total viewers from the previous day and up 67% from the previous 4 weeks. Well, at a packed Milford City Hall meeting last Thursday night about the state's plans to make improvements at Silver Sand State Park, Milford Mayor Ben Blake said he hopes the state rethinks some of those plans. During the meeting, one of about 300 residents in attendance turned to Blake and asked him about the plans. That's when Blake expressed his displeasure with some aspects of it. He said the state's going to dump this on you, referring to a parking problem that has plagued East Broadway and the streets off of it for years. Instead of walking the distance from the Silver Sands parking lot to the beach, Silver Sands beachgoers often park on those streets, taking up precious parking that the residents use. That will only get worse if the state starts charging people to drive into Silver Sands, according to that resident. Blake responded, "Hopefully this does not come to pass. I'm hoping the state will not charge residents to park." State Department of Energy and Environmental Protection officials led the meeting at Milford City Hall Thursday night to air plans for park improvements, which include adding public bathrooms, changing areas, lifeguard and law enforcement space, and a snack bar with a wraparound deck. Once the improvements are complete, the DEEP intends to start charging a parking fee, which would be $9 during the week for state residents and $13 on weekends plus tax. Right now, there is no parking fee at Silver Sands. Residents who attended the meeting asked a lot of questions and raised a number of concerns, many of which related to the parking fee. While some say they think it's simply unfair that residents will have to pay to park at a city-located amenity, the real concern voiced Thursday night was that the fee will send people parking on streets along East Broadway and in other neighborhoods. Speaking specifically about East Broadway, Blake said the city has done 2 parking studies over the past 15 years and knows there is a problem. He said city officials have asked the state for some parkland to create resident parking, but the state is not in favor of that. You can get a lot more on that story at milfordmirror.com. Well, Whole Foods is reportedly cutting 1,500 jobs on a net basis in the coming weeks, or about 1.6% of its workforce, with the company not immediately specifying locations that will be impacted. According to Hearst Connecticut Media, Whole Foods is based in Austin, Texas, and has 8 Connecticut stores in Darien, Greenwich, Westport, Fairfield, Danbury, Milford, Glastonbury, and West Hartford. Whole Foods said it anticipates ongoing job attrition to account for much of the reductions. Whole Foods reported a slight increase in profits for the quarter ending July 5th, with net income up 2% to $154 million. According to Walter Robb, who is the co-CEO of Whole Foods, he said, quote, "This is a very difficult decision and we are committed to treating affected team members in a caring and respectful manner." He said, "We have offered them several options, including transition pay, a generous severance, or the opportunity to apply for other jobs." Well, police in Waterbury conducted a street racing crackdown operation over the weekend, according to WFSB. They said they had about 22 officers working, including undercover detectives. It was all in response to repeated complaints of cars racing down city streets. Police say they issued 82 misdemeanor summons for racing or being a spectator to a prohibited race. A number of citations were also issued, and 4 vehicles were towed. They did not release numbers on how many people were arrested or information about their identities. Well, we're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, we have a lot more news coming up on your coffee break after this.
Highcote Rockefeller Estate is Westchester County's top cultural attraction and is now open for the season. Don't miss out. Go online to hudsonvalley.org to plan your visit. Take a drive out to beautiful Sleepy Hollow, New York, and enjoy Highcote's stunning architecture, breathtaking gardens, expansive art galleries, and commanding Hudson River views. From world-class art by Picasso and Warhol to expertly tended gardens, there's something for everyone. Highcote Rockefeller Estate, a National Trust for Historic Preservation landmark. Back to school means back to busy, and Stewart's Market can save you precious time by stocking all of your favorite essentials under one roof. For a healthy start to school, we have all the ingredients. Walter Stewart's, your family-owned fresh local market, 229 Elm Street and at stewartsmarket.com.
Tired of all the bull? Relax and enjoy the experience of buying a car at Panby Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram. No bull allowed.
Have no fear. HAN Network's Fast Frights movie contest is here. Can your film make the cut? Submit your 3-minute scary movie today for a chance to win a DJI Phantom 3 drone, sponsored by Milford Photo. The only thing to fear is missing the deadline.
And we're back with this Monday edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Chaplinsky bringing you today's headlines. Great event coming up in Weston with Juliana Rangel, who is assistant professor of apiculture at Texas A&M University. She's going to be talking about queen supersedure at a meeting of the Backyard Beekeepers Association this Tuesday, September 29th at 7:30 p.m. at Northfield Church in Weston. The event is free and open to the public. One of Dr. Rangel's research topics at the university focuses on figuring out the leading cause of queen supersedure, the process through which worker bees prematurely replace the mother queen with a new one, an ever-growing problem facing beekeeping today. In this talk, Dr. Rangel will discuss biotic and abiotic factors that lower the reproductive quality of queens and drones and will show evidence of her lower quality queen affects overall colony growth and survival. The Backyard Beekeepers Association has been educating the public about honeybees and beekeeping for more than 20 years. With over 400 members, the association has grown to become one of the nation's largest regional clubs for beekeeping hobbyists. You can get a lot more information on that event coming up at thewestonforum.com. Well, recapping some of our major headlines this morning, Shelton police are investigating a homicide on Hickory Lane. On Sunday morning around 9:30 a.m., police were called to 7 Hickory Lane for a sudden death call. Upon arrival, officers found a dead 52-year-old woman in the home. Police said it appeared suspicious, and investigation revealed it was a homicide, though they have not released additional details at this time. The Shelton Police Department is now investigating with the Connecticut State Police Major Crime Division. A homicide is also being investigated in Bridgeport. It was a shooting-related homicide after a man was found dead also on Sunday morning. Around 8:20 in the morning, firefighters and medical personnel responded to a call about a party found unresponsive near the corner of Charles and Main Streets. Responders found one black male, identified as Dehaney Watson, dead from a gunshot wound. Police officers and detectives were dispatched to the location and secured the crime scene. Detectives are now actively investigating, and anyone with information regarding the incident is asked to contact the Bridgeport Police Department at 203-581-5201. As we mentioned earlier on your coffee break, if you're planning to head to Westfield Trumbull Mall, you won't be able to get in until noon today. The shopping center had to evacuate Sunday after a water main break, which closed the mall, and management said the mall will be reopening today at noon. Well, Connecticut's Department of Energy and Environmental Protection has announced the opening days of the upcoming fall firearms hunting season. Peak hunting during these seasons occurs during the early morning and late afternoon, primarily during the period from mid-October through mid-December. You can get a lot more information on the hunting season at theridgefieldpress.com. Going to throw it over to Rob Adams now for one more look at today's weather. It looks beautiful so far, Rob.
It does, and hopefully it stays that way as we go down to Wilton for the Staples-Wilton Field hockey game in a little while. So we've got a partly sunny day, a high near 80. Hopefully it stays like that. Gets a little warm, but that's okay. We'll take it. Slight chance of showers after 1 tonight. Mostly cloudy, a low around 66. That continues into tomorrow morning with a chance of showers mainly after 7, and a cloudy day, a high near 80. Only a 30% chance of precipitation. We kind of need it, but then again, another broadcast tomorrow. We're outside, so it's kind of a mixed bag. Tuesday night, showers likely, thunderstorm possible, low around 66. Wednesday, that's looking like the winner for lots of rain. Showers likely, possible a thunderstorm, new precipitation looking between 3/4 and 1 inch possible, and we'll see temperatures right around 65 degrees. Chance of showers Wednesday night, low 52, mostly cloudy for Thursday with a high near 63. Can I get you any good news? Not really. Friday, chance of showers. Saturday, chance of showers. Sunday, chance of showers each day, only hovering in the low 60s. And Kate, the low, only around 48.
Wow.
Bundle up. Stay warm.
All right.
66 in Darien, 65 in Ridgefield. Shelton has 69 degrees. I'll see you for Nutmeg Sports at 2 later today.
Great. Thanks, Rob. Well, we should mention, if you've been watching your coffee break live and you've been missing this announcement that NASA's making, according to Twitter right now, scientists have found evidence of transient salt water on the surface of Mars. So I know we'll be checking that out as soon as we're done here. Kind of a big announcement there. We are going to wrap up this Monday edition of your coffee break. Coming up tomorrow, some folks from Griffin Hospital are going to be joining us to talk about the proper way to administer CPR. We're also going to be talking more about a great event coming up this weekend, Concourse to Caffeine. And as Rob said, today at 2, Nutmeg Sports. So thanks for watching your coffee break.
This is the HAN Network, the leader for local news, sports, arts, and entertainment in southwestern Connecticut and beyond.